Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Today we're just going to read some news that was local to here. It's a few years old, but I found it interesting, so I thought I'd share. So I thought we'd read it together. Let's get into it. Joanna Hall stabbed 40 times by boyfriend in Tenby. Murder trial told. I know this girl. I don't know where the heck I know her. I've been looking at this picture for ages and I still don't have a fucking clue what I know her. A woman was stabbed more than 40 times by her boyfriend in Pembrokeshire home. A murder trial as heard. Joanna Hall from Tenby managed to regain consciousness to name Stephen Daniel Williams of her attack as she lay dying in hospital. Mr. Williams, 30, from Tenby, denies the murder at Swansea Crown Court. The jury heard his 999 call describing how Mrs. Hall had been stabbed and was dying. She died 3 weeks later. Oh, wow. The trial heard that Mr. Williams posed as a grieving boyfriend claiming a knifeman had broken in while he was out. But the jury heard that Mrs. Hall came around and managed to name Mr. Williams as her killer before slipping back and forth into unconsciousness. Miss Hall told the police, "He started shouting at me and went in the kitchen, came back with a knife. I asked him what he was going to do with it and he said, 'Watch me.' He stabbed me in the back and the knife got stuck, but he managed to get it out and carried on stabbing me. I thought I was going to die." Oh, bless her. Dude. Miss Hall also told her sister Georgina that at her bedside it was Stephen Hall. He turned up in my flat after drinking whiskey. Notice the red, same thing, whiskey again. There were arguments and he flipped. He tried to rip the radiator off the wall and then began stabbing me. He sat with me smoking cigarettes and said, "Will you just die?" Ah, he's such a nice man. Like, Jesus Christ. Alwyn Evans, QC prosecutor, told the jury Miss Hall was repeatedly slashed, stabbed over her body, and some of her injuries caused internal damage. It was obvious her condition was very serious indeed, and she had suffered substantial blood loss, so she told the jury. In spite of the operation, her organs stopped functioning, and she died in April 2013, 20 days after the attack. The court heard Mr. Williams arguingly aggressive with the emergency operator swearing during the recording telephone call from the house in Croswell Street. A male voice said, someone's been stabbing her. Her intestines are hanging out, and he swore she was dying. The jury told her how the operator struggled to get an address from the defendant, who had to ask his dying girlfriend for details. Oh, come on. In the background, the woman's voice could be heard calling and crying out. The prosecution explained that the voice of Miss Hall, at which point her mother broke down in the public gallery. That's just so sad. Mrs. Evans told the jury that Miss Hall was awake while her air ambulance arrived and was able to give an account of what happened and named her attacker. The court told that she would become unconscious and died some days later, leaving many questions unanswered. The one person who can answer these questions has chosen not to. Blood spot. The jury heard that there was a mark in the sink. Mr. Evans said that there was blood matching Mr. Williams' DNA and suggested that initially Mrs. Hall was able to fend him off during the attack. They also heard that there were damage to plasterwork by the radiator on the landing in the flat, which Miss Evans said might become relevant during the trial. I don't understand why he was trying to rip the damn radiator off. Like, was you too hot? Jesus. The jury told that Mr. Williams had visited Tenby Cottage Hospital on the 15th of March 2012. Tenby Cottage is our, like, little tiny hospital. It basically, if you got, like, I went there for, like, a sty in my eye and, you know, it's tiny little things. It's not anything of great substance. You'd have to go to Withybush. But anyway, hours before the attack took place, claiming he had an STD after having sex with a local woman, although he left without receiving a diagnosis. They saw texts which were later sent to Miss Hall to the defendant, including one saying, "Don't know why you keep coming back when you've made it quite clear you don't want to be with me." After a number of texts and calls, Mr. Williams, he replied, "Why, what, I don't know where you live. You seriously want to stay off the whiskey? You're horrible on it." Yeah, again with the damn whiskey. More texts and calls followed. The court saw CCTV of Mr. Williams walking to Crosswell. He just after midnight on the 16th of March. The next phone call from Miss Hall's phone at 2:10 GMT was a voicemail. It was not clear who had made it. Probably just a friend or something. CCTV footage of Mr. Williams walking from the flat to Sainsbury's to buy a 20 cl bottle of whiskey. It's literally like maybe a 5-minute walk, if that, from that area to Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's is just by the bus station in Tenby. If anybody's been there, you'll know. Way weird. The jury was told that the blood test showed Mr. Williams was a high level of alcohol in his blood. Miss Evans said that he had an history of alcohol use. Jurors were shown photos of the clothing Mr. Williams was wearing at his arrest and blue body warmer with Miss Hall's blood on the side. Miss Evans said when he says he was helping Joanna, there's not much blood to indicate that. Yeah, no. The jury was sent home and the trial continues on Thursday. Now, see, I get that because I think a lot of people fail with that. They go, yeah, I'm doing CPR, I'm helping, and they've got hardly any blood on them. Trust me, if you're doing CPR on somebody that's got that many wounds, the blood's going everywhere, dude. Joanna Hall murder, Stephen Williams jailed for 22 years. Stephen Williams claimed that throughout his trial, the knifeman had broken into the flat while he went to the shops for alcohol. I believe you not. A chef who stabbed his girlfriend 40 times, waited 5 hours before calling 999, has been jailed for life and must serve 22 years. Stephen Williams, 31, attacked Joanna Hall at her flat in Tenby, Pembrokeshire, and waited 5 hours before calling for help. Miss Hall, 35, died 3 weeks after the attack, but was able to tell the police what happened from her hospital bed. Williams was found guilty after a 3-week trial at Swansea Crown Court. The Justice Nicole Davis said the attack was brutal and careless, but does not warrant this description sadistic. She added, this was sustained and brutal assault using a knife or knives upon the defenseless victim. You stabbed Joanna over 20 times, on occasion penetrating organs within her body. Joanna lost 30 to 40% of the circulating blood in her body. You refused her medical treatment she needed to get the help. You sat and watched her bleed. The jury reached a 10-2 majority verdict on Thursday. I want to know what the two was thinking. I want to know what the two was thinking. That's what I need to know. If it's a 10-2, what was the two thinking? Where was their heads at? After deliberating for about 8.25 hours from Wednesday afternoon, Williams did not react to the verdict. Williams, an alcoholic, claimed throughout his trial that an unknown knifeman broke into the property in the morning while he briefly went to the shop to buy alcohol. Stephen Williams says Joanne was attacked while he was buying whiskey in the morning. But Miss Hall was conscious when the air ambulance arrived to help and was able to say what happened, naming her attacker. The court heard Miss Hall was repeatedly stabbed all over her body, with some of the injuries causing internal damage. Williams denied that he had been in a relationship with Miss Hall, but she revealed that to her sister Georgina in hospital. When asked who had stabbed her, he replied, "Someone I know. I've been seeing him and his name is Stephen Williams." Miss Marwick told the court he got a knife and stabbed her. Jo didn't even tell the police because she was scared. She said that he had threatened her if she told anybody, he would come and finish her off and get someone else to do it. She said that she had asked him, Stephen Williams, to phone for help, but he refused. "You have a choice. Take your life or I'll take it for you." Wow. Wow. The court heard how Mr. Williams had said that he didn't want to have to do this, but "I'm going to have to kill you now. I'm going to go back to prison." You think? Mrs. Marwick said her sister had told her that Williams had sat there all night just smoking cigarettes. She remembered struggling, taking deep breaths, and he said, "Will you just die?" That's pretty freaking thing. Mrs. Hall told her sister that the knife was a silver EastEnders, was on the TV. "I begged him to call an ambulance. He stayed all night. I was in so much pain." Williams claimed that the defence, he went to Miss Hall's flat very early on the 16th of March, drinking whiskey on the way because he thought he had been self-harming. At about 7:30 in the morning, he went to the shop and left Miss Hall stroking her pet dog on the sofa. He told the court, okay. When he returned a short while later, he found her injured. He claimed the jury had heard from the neighbours that there was a noisy argument in Mrs. Hall's flat during the early hours. Williams claimed the argument lasted up to 10 minutes and he was sparked when Miss Hall tried to kiss him. He had no mention it until given evidence. Yeah, of course he didn't think it was relevant. I'm just trying to dig myself out of this shithole that I just got myself into. After sentencing, Detective Sergeant Carl Roach said this crime was repulsed Joanna's family, the community of Tenby and the investigation team. Today's sentencing is welcome and without a doubt the public are safer with Stephen being firmly behind bars. Joanna's family showed the utmost dignity and patience during this difficult time. It is to them and the investigation team of David Powis that I pay tribute. Wow. I love the fact that I just didn't think it was relevant. No, you're just trying to dig yourself out of some shit you've just got yourself into, boy. But 22 years? Yeah, I'll take it. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope that was of some interest to you all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all the boring stuff. And leave a comment to what you think. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.